Howdy, great to see you. I'm mostly pretty nice. Poindexter showed me how to make fireworks. Raz kind of scares me sometimes, but I don't mind. He's had a hard life. Well, as it turns out, we had a string of bad harvests a few years back. Pa said he couldn't afford to feed but 3 young'uns or we'd starve. As the biggest one, it was my job to go join the army so's my sisters could eat and so's we wouldn't all be killed by raiders and Jesus would love us. It's all right, I guess. I don't like all the fighting we gotta do, though. I ain't scared. I just don't like hurting folks is all. Ma always used to tell me, boy, you're the biggest and the strongest, so you mind yourself. Every day she told me that. Guess I done took it to heart. Well, I was born on a farm out in California. Weren't much. Me, Ma, and Pa, my 2 sisters, and about 40 acres of corn and Brahmin. Didn't ever have no problems, really, except for some lean years. Then I joined up and got shipped out here to New Vegas. Oh, it's a fine place. The lake is real pretty, and we don't get bothered much by them Legion fellers. To me? I'll tell you what I think this squad needs. A little more basic human niceness. Folks just don't talk to other folks, and everybody's always cross with each other. That'd be swell. Only if they knew the idea came from me, they probably wouldn't take you serious no more. So maybe you ought to think about it first. And I sure hope you're more convincing than I am, or they ain't gonna listen. Whatever you... You did? Does that mean you're gonna help? Okay.
I'm assuming you aren't associated with the Army or the Rangers. What can I do for you? In a strictly official capacity, no. However, as I am by far the most intelligent and resourceful figure on this base, I feel it's safe to say the soldiers here look up to me. I suppose if you must stick with your narrow, parochial view of in charge, then yes, it's a no. Are we done? It's a simple idea. The Army offers fiscal security and generous benefits at the cost of substantial personal risk, if you're on the front line. If you perform too poorly, they'll scrub you out. Perform too well, and you get sent to the front lines. All I have to do is ride that mediocrity gradient to a cushy, do-nothing job miles away from the war. To what purpose? It's highly unlikely you'd understand anything I'd say. Suffice to say, I'm a certified genius, and when I'm discharged from this pit of testosterone and failure, I'll have all the money I could ever need. That seems highly illogical. What reason would he have for doing that? This is an unexpected variable. I had hoped to coast on an easy wave of mediocrity to a cushy government pension. Your insults are both unhelpful and unwanted. I'll thank you to keep them to yourself. And... an intriguing proposition. Company readiness reports are logged on the computer systems at the resort. If you hack the system, you could alter our records. Such an attempt, however, is likely to thwart efforts to motivate the squad to do actual work. If such is your goal, you should look elsewhere. Excellent. Squad readiness records can be accessed from 2 terminals at the resort. The main terminal in the lobby or a secure one in a back office. The main terminal is typically unlocked, but is also in the middle of a major thoroughfare. You'll have to be stealthy to access it. The office terminal is locked, but you might have an easier time accessing it, especially at night.
What you want, Holmes? We don't talk too much, mostly. Poindexter's a smart-ass prick. Well, Hanrahan's a big pussy, ain't good for shit in a fight, and Mags? Well, Mags is cut out for something other than soldiering, you dig? Whatever. Not like I need any of them. I do just fine on my own. Shit, man, it was this or the Fiends. And Fiends don't last too long in the NCR. At least this way the badasses with the top shelf guns are on my side. Ain't much to tell. Grew up out west, in the Boneyard. Heard of it? Yeah, not many people have. Wasn't really a good place for kids, you know. I joined up to get out. My family's still back there. What do you want to know? Whole place used to be some kind of rich bastard resort back before the war. Now the Rangers use the old resort and we grunts get to live in tents. Fucking typical. Yo, I'll tell you what this squad needs. A healthy dose of angry juice. Psycho, the big red one. I used to run with the Fiends. I still got the hookups. Smuggle some in and you'll see an improvement. My man Jack at Red Rock Canyon got the goods. But listen, once you get folks dosed on Psycho, ain't a lot of room for much else. So if you got any other plans for bulking up the Misfits crew, might want to see about them first. Whatever. Like I said, you get the juice, we'll cut loose. Whatever. Right.
Glad to see you haven't gotten yourself killed yet. I guess I wanted to make something of myself, you know? Be the best of the best. I wanted to be a ranger, but guess this is as close as I get. Easy. This is where they send all the fuck-ups and people they don't want. But hey, it's not like I'm bitter or anything. Yeah. I mean, no, they're okay people, but they don't care, you know? They don't have any ambition, no drive. They're slacking off, and that reflects badly on me. Please. CampGolf is where they shuffle off anybody they don't want anymore. Assignment here is a career ender. Not much to tell, really. I grew up in New Reno, joined up, took my shot at being a ranger, didn't make it, so I'm stuck with this crew of jokers. Gee, I don't know. Maybe because I'm saddled with the worst damn unit in the NCR Army. Think that might have something to do with it? He did, huh? Well, good luck with that. You'd have an easier time teaching radroaches to march in formation. Well, if you ask me, what we really need is to get this whole squad out on the practice range, shape up our marksmanship and explosive skill. I'm sure the others have their own ideas, though. Are you sure? I've got enough clout to get them started, but these guys are pretty lazy. I doubt they'll want to be pulled in different directions. You're the boss. Glad to see you haven't gotten yourself killed yet. It really, really didn't. Okay, if you say so. Hell, it's not like we've got a lot to lose here. Okay, everybody's lined. You heard the man, people. Get focused. I've got the one at 11 o'clock. Raz, O'Hanrahan, take the two on the right. Poindexter, the center. Right. Exhale, squeeze. Focus on the shot. Thanks for the help. I think the whole unit's doing a lot better now. It helped, but we still got a grenade range inspection to pass. After the help you gave us at the shooting range, we'll take any advice you've got. I'll line them up. Okay, we've got our dummy grenades and the course is live. We're all set. I've got a bad feeling about this. They're kind of heavy for that, but whatever you say. What the hell are you talking about? You've got a funny definition of weld, you know that? Whatever. Thanks for whatever that was.
They're just new money, sugar. They might pretend they're sophisticated, but between you and me, They're not far off from tribals. Emeritus especially are just awful brutes. The chairman and the White Glove Society at least pretend to have some culture. Well, of course, there used to be a lot more of them. But these days, there are 3 open to the public. The Tops, the Ultra Lukes, and Gamora. And the Lucky 38, of course. But we're not open to the public. You're a special case, sugar. Well, let's see. The NCR has an embassy here, but why you'd want to go talk to a bunch of boring old politicians, I surely don't know. Oh, and the Vault 21 Hotel and Gift Shop has an adorable collection of old Vault-Tech memorabilia. And I suppose if you like neon signs, you might check out Michelangelo's sign shop.
This meeting has been a long time coming, hasn't it? You've come a long ways, literally, and I suspect figuratively as well. I have to ask, now that you've reached your destination, what do you make of what you see? A crude question, crudely asked. I'll be happy to satisfy your rambunctious curiosity at a more appropriate moment. But now I'll repeat my question. What do you make of what you've seen? Of course you haven't. Vegas always was one of a kind. What you see down on the Strip is just a fraction of the city's former glory, and yet, more than an echo, I preserved its spirit. Or perhaps you were referring to the Lucky 38? The years haven't been kind to her, but still she manages to impress. Oh, don't be coy. You've been playing a high-stakes game ever since Victor dug you out of the ground. Don't be afraid to admit it. The business is this. One of my employees has stolen an item of extraordinary value from me, and I want it recovered. Simple enough. What did you wish to know? It's understandable that you'd be curious about this topic, but we'll hold off until the platinum chip has been recovered. What else did you want to know? It's a very special item. There's nothing else like it in the entire world. It was lost a long time and difficult to find. That's all you need to know about it for this stage of our enterprise. Fulfill your contract, deliver the chip, and good thing. Then Vegas shall be lost, and with it, mankind's best hope for long-term survival. Frontal assaults on casinos, not good for business. In any case, Benny would see it coming. And all he'd have to do is hold the chip up, and our foremost advantage is that Benny doesn't know that I know he has the chip. You realize you were just one of many couriers. The rest of them... Add to that many thousands of caps worth of mercenary protection to screen your avenue of approach. Had I used an armed caravan to transport the chip, I might as well have been announcing to the world, this is important, attack this. I didn't want to attract the attention of groups like the Great Khans or the Brotherhood of Steel. Alas, that's simply not true. I am the only person to hold any rights pertaining to the chip. I designed it and I paid for it, dearly. To develop that chip, I spent a sum of US dollars, not the bottle caps that pass as currency these days, but a sum beyond counting. For decades, I paid salvagers to comb the ruins for it, and when it was finally discovered, tens of thousands of... We know how that turned out. Complete your contract, and it will be the last time... You might keep an eye out for any computers that Benny's been using. Maybe even a computer lab of some... What else? Benny has led the chairman ever since I recruited his tribe 7 years ago. Until his recent misbehavior, I planned to make him my protege. Maybe if I'd begun grooming him sooner, none of this would have happened. I have to think that he found out about the platinum chip and mistakenly convinced himself that he could use it to his own ends. One of the problems of a tribal workforce, I'm afraid. No intuitive understanding of how complex technologies can be. Why didn't Victor intervene sooner, you mean? Goodsprings is a bit too far away for me to reliably control a Securitron agent by remote. I can send and receive packets of data at best. Victor's combat algorithms determined the proper course of action. Benny and his thugs were more than a match for a lone Securitron. When he alerted me, I instructed him to approach the site after Benny and the others had departed. To achieve my aims, I require a capable human agent to perform certain tasks. I knew Benny was ambitious, even ruthless, but I believed he would do the job so long as he was incentivized appropriately. Obviously, I miscalculated his drive for supremacy, but in any case, you've come along, a more than suitable replacement. What else? It won't be easy. Benny is always surrounded by at least 4 bodyguards, except when he's in his private suite on the 13th floor of the Tops. Sneaking into Benny's suite on the 13th floor would be very difficult, but not impossible. There might be guards. Certainly there'd be a sturdy lock on his front door. If you were to approach Benny in public, you might be able to leverage his fear of exposure to make him agree to meet with you in private. It's more complicated than that. The chairmen share what you might call a tribal affinity. Look for a man named Swank, Benny's second-in-command. He's always been a reliable, if unimaginative, employee. Do your best to convince him that you're working under my auspices. If you have evidence of Benny's crimes, show it to him. By contract, Securitrons are to enter the casinos only when invited by the 3 families, or if other extraordinary circumstances arise. The moment I send one into the Tops, Benny will know I'm on to him. My only concern is the recovery of the platinum chip. What happens to Benny, I leave to your discretion. When you bring the chip to me, I will pay you 4 times the delivery bonus stipulated in your contract. How's that? Is that an attempt at humor? I've always taken business negotiations very seriously. I advise you to do the same. Well enough. Return to me when you have the platinum chip in your possession. Any final matters for us to discuss? Until then. What is the purpose of this delay? Please focus on the task at hand for both.